Some cars fly off dealership lots, but others, they sit there, untouched. Dealers slash prices, offer incentives, even beg for buyers, but nothing works. And here's the crazy part. Some of these are from big-name brands you'd never expect to struggle. But why is that, you might ask? Massive reliability issues, bad pricing, outdated tech, or just straight-up poor design. Today, I'm exposing 9 cars that dealerships can't sell, and once you see why, you'll understand exactly what to avoid on your next trip to the dealership. Let's begin with the Land Rover Discovery Sport, the reliability nightmare. The Land Rover Discovery Sport was once a go-to for luxury SUV buyers, promising off-road capability with premium comfort. But in 2025, dealerships are struggling to sell them, and it's easy to see why. Reliability issues have plagued this model for years. Owners report constant breakdowns, electrical malfunctions, and sky-high repair costs. And when something goes wrong, parts are expensive and repairs take forever. No one wants to drop $51,150 on an SUV that spends more time in the shop than on the road. It's also falling behind in technology. The infotainment system feels outdated, lagging behind competitors like the Audi Q8 and BMW X3 that offer smoother, faster tech with better connectivity. And in today's market, where even budget cars are packed with cutting-edge features, this just doesn't cut it. Then there's fuel efficiency, or the lack of it. With gas prices fluctuating, buyers want something that won't burn a hole in their pockets. But the Discovery Sport is thirsty, making it a tough sell against hybrids and more fuel-efficient rivals. Sales numbers tell the full story. In 2021, Land Rover managed to sell 7,222 units. By 2024, that number crashed to just 1,435. Dealerships are stuck with them, offering deep discounts just to move inventory. And if you think that's bad, wait until you hear about this next struggling electric vehicle. Hyundai Ioniq 6, lost in Tesla's shadow. When Hyundai launched the Ioniq 6, it was supposed to be a game-changer in the EV market. Sleek design, solid range, and competitive pricing, on paper, it had everything it needed to succeed. But in 2025, dealerships are struggling to sell them. Why? Because no one is paying attention. The biggest problem? Tesla's stranglehold on the EV market. The Model 3 remains the go-to choice for buyers, and newer brands like Rivian, Polestar, and Lucid are grabbing headlines with their fresh designs and better tech. Meanwhile, the Ioniq 6 feels stuck in the middle, not premium enough for high-end buyers and too expensive for budget-conscious shoppers. And then there's the pricing dilemma. The Ioniq 6 starts at $38,945, but fully loaded, it jumps to $52,900. At that price, buyers expect luxury-level refinement, but Hyundai just doesn't deliver. The interior feels more functional than premium, and in an EV market where minimalist, high-tech cabins are the trend, the Ioniq 6 lacks that futuristic appeal. Charging infrastructure is another headache. While Hyundai partners with Electrify America, their network is nowhere near as reliable as Tesla's superchargers. For EV buyers, this is a deal breaker. They want convenience, not the frustration of searching for a working charger. Sales numbers aren't looking great either. While Hyundai expected strong demand, the Ioniq 6 is sitting on dealership lots longer than anticipated. Buyers are choosing the Tesla Model 3, the Chevy Blazer EV, or even waiting for upcoming models from Toyota and Honda rather than taking the plunge on the Ioniq 6. Let's continue with the Lincoln Navigator, too big for its own good. The Lincoln Navigator was once the ultimate status symbol for full-size luxury SUVs. It dominated the streets with its imposing presence and plush interior. But in 2025, it's a different story. This once iconic SUV is sitting on dealer lots longer than ever. So, what happened? For starters, it's losing ground to the Cadillac Escalade, which keeps evolving with better tech and more premium features. Buyers looking for full-size luxury are choosing Cadillac, Range Rover, or even high-end German SUVs over Lincoln. Then there's the size problem. The Navigator's bulky design is starting to work against it. SUVs are still popular, but buyers today want sleek, modern, and efficient, not something that feels like a tank in tight city spaces. And the fuel economy? Absolutely brutal. With rising gas prices, a full-size SUV that guzzles fuel is harder to justify. The Navigator's twin-turbo V6 is powerful, but feels outdated compared to hybrid or electric alternatives. Even the massive 48-inch dashboard display, which should be a selling point, isn't enough to convince buyers to overlook its shortcomings. Then there's the price tag. The 2025 Lincoln Navigator starts at $83,200, and the fully loaded black label trim pushes past $110,000. And yet, for that kind of money, it lacks the cutting-edge luxury you'd expect. Buyers aren't seeing the value, especially when they can get a similarly priced BMW X7, Mercedes GLS, or Range Rover, all of which offer a more premium feel. In 2023, sales dropped nearly 20%, and dealers are stuck with excess inventory, forcing them to offer steep discounts. Even with price cuts, buyers are hesitant, opting for competitors that feel more refined and future-proof. Audi Q8, the forgotten luxury SUV. The Audi Q8 was supposed to be a statement, a stylish, coupe-inspired luxury SUV that combined sporty looks with high-end comfort. But in 2025, it's proving to be one of the hardest luxury SUVs to sell, and dealers are struggling to move them. The biggest problem? It doesn't stand out. It's trying to be both a luxury SUV and a sporty coupe, but it doesn't excel at either. Buyers looking for pure luxury choose the Q7 because it's cheaper and more practical, while performance enthusiasts opt for the RS Q8 or other high-powered SUVs that actually deliver excitement. The Q8 sits awkwardly in the middle, and that's exactly why it's being ignored. The 2025 Audi Q8 starts at $85,000, and if you want more power or premium features, it quickly climbs past $100,000. But at that price, it's competing with the Porsche Cayenne, BMW X6, and Mercedes GLE Coupe, all of which offer more performance, better tech, or a more refined driving experience. Buyers just don't see the value in the Q8 when there are better options for the same money. Performance is another weak spot. While Audi markets the Q8 as a sporty SUV, it doesn't feel as powerful or dynamic as its competitors. Buyers expect more punch for this price, but the base 3.0-liter turbo V6 isn't particularly thrilling. The handling is good, but it's not enough to justify the price tag when rivals offer more excitement behind the wheel. And the worst part? These SUVs are piling up on dealer lots. The Q8 currently has a market day supply of 270 days, which means many of these models have been sitting unsold for nearly a year. That's a terrible sign in the luxury segment, where buyers usually want the newest and most exclusive models. Jeep Grand Wagoneer, luxury flop. Jeep has always been known for rugged off-road vehicles, but when they tried to step into the luxury market with the Grand Wagoneer, things went south fast. In 2025, dealerships are stuck with them, and buyers just aren't convinced it's worth the price. The 2025 Jeep Grand Wagoneer starts at a jaw-dropping $110,000, pushing into the territory of brands like Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Range Rover. But here's the problem. Buyers don't see Jeep as a luxury brand. People are willing to spend six figures on a high-end SUV, but when they do, they want something with a premium reputation, not a brand known for Wranglers and off-roading. Then there's the horrible fuel economy. With a 6.4-liter V8 engine, the Grand Wagoneer is a gas-guzzling monster, averaging just 13 miles per gallon combined. At a time when more luxury SUVs are offering hybrid or electric options, this kind of old-school fuel consumption is a hard sell. Buyers in 2025 are looking for efficiency, and the Grand Wagoneer just doesn't deliver. And despite its luxury ambitions, build quality complaints are starting to pile up. Owners have reported cheap-feeling interior materials, glitchy electronics, and fit and finish issues that you just wouldn't expect in a $110,000 vehicle. Jeep's reliability reputation hasn't exactly been stellar, and buyers are understandably wary of spending six figures on an unproven luxury SUV. The Grand Wagoneer has a market supply of 257 days, meaning dealers have way too many sitting on lots, struggling to find buyers. Even with deep discounts, people aren't biting. It turns out, slapping a six-figure price tag on a Jeep just isn't enough to convince buyers that it belongs in the luxury market. And now, let's talk about one of the biggest electric vehicle disappointment of the year, Fiat 500e, the cute electric vehicle nobody wants. On the surface, the Fiat 500e seems like the perfect city car, compact, stylish, and electric. But in 2025, dealerships can't give them away. Buyers are ignoring this tiny EV, and it's becoming a major headache for Fiat. At just 84 miles per charge, the 500e is one of the lowest range EVs on the market, market. For comparison, the Chevy Bolt, which costs less, offers over 250 miles per charge. Even the Nissan Leaf, another budget EV, more than doubles the 500e's range. In a world where buyers expect at least 200+ miles of range, the 500e just isn't practical. The 2025 Fiat 500e starts at $34,999, which isn't exactly cheap. For a little more money, buyers can get an entry-level Tesla Model 3 or Hyundai Ioniq 5, both of which offer more tech, better performance, and significantly more range. Even as a city car, the 500e feels overpriced and underpowered compared to its competitors. Another massive issue? Fiat's limited dealership network in the US. Fiat has been struggling in North America for years, with dealerships closing left and right. If you buy a 500e, finding a service center could be a nightmare. Buyers don't want to gamble on a car that may be difficult to repair or maintain, and Fiat's reputation for spotty reliability doesn't help. The 500e has been sitting on dealer lots for over 3 months, well beyond the normal turnover rate for EVs. That's a major red flag in a market where electric cars are supposed to be the future. Even with dealer incentives and price cuts, customers are choosing literally anything else over the Fiat 500e. Let's talk about the BMW Z4, once the go-to choice for a stylish, fun-to-drive roadster. But in 2025, it's becoming one of the hardest cars to sell. Not because it's a bad car, but because the market for two-seater convertibles is shrinking fast. Let's face it, sports cars just aren't what they used to be. Buyers today are prioritizing SUVs, EVs, and practicality over lightweight, open-top performance cars. Even people who want a fun weekend toy are looking at electric alternatives or high-performance sedans instead of roadsters. The Z4 is stuck in a dying segment, and its sales are suffering because of it. Then, there's the pricing problem. The 2025 BMW Z4 starts at $54,545, which puts it in an awkward position. On one end, the Mazda MX-5 Miata delivers similar thrills for nearly half the price, and for a bit more, buyers can get a Porsche 718 Cayman, which offers a better driving experience and holds its value longer. The Z4 is caught in the middle, and customers just don't see it as the best option. And while BMW is known for making high-performance cars, the Z4 has never been a true driver's car. It's more of a luxury roadster than a hardcore sports car, and in 2025, that niche is getting smaller. Many buyers still associate BMW with SUVs and performance sedans, making it harder for the Z4 to find its audience. The Audi A7, the sedan nobody's buying. The Audi A7 was once the ultimate blend of luxury, performance, and sleek coupe-like styling, but in 2025, it's turning into a sales disaster. While SUVs dominate the luxury market, the A7 is stuck in no man's land, and buyers are leaving it behind. Buyers looking for an Audi sedan either go for the cheaper A6, which offers nearly the same luxury for thousands less, or they splurge on the flagship A8, which delivers a true high-end experience. The A7 is supposed to be the stylish alternative, but in 2025, most buyers just don't care about four-door coupes anymore. The 2025 Audi A7 starts at $73,500, but a fully loaded version can easily exceed $90,000. At that price, many buyers are choosing luxury SUVs instead, like the BMW X5, Mercedes GLE, or Audi's own Q8. Want to avoid buying a car that loses value fast? Check out my next video on the 10 worst cars that nobody buys.